You're always too busy with work. Her words cut through me, sharp and cold. For the first time, the fog I've lived in clears, and the truth stares me in the face. My voice comes out low, almost trembling. No, you never asked me. You made sure I couldn't come. The silence that follows is louder than any scream. A silence heavy with guilt, heavy with years of secrets. This isn't the first time, is it? I whisper, though my chest feels like it's collapsing. The realization blooms like a bruise, ugly and undeniable. The family trips I only heard about after. The holidays that coincidentally never lined up with my schedule. Every memory rearranges itself into a cruel pattern, stretching back further than I can bear to look. Mom steps forward, hand out like she's calming a child. Sweetheart, you're being dramatic. Let's sit down, and I set the cruise documents on the entry table. No shouting, no slammed doors, just finality. Then I pick up my overnight bag and walk into the evening air. Behind me, her voice cracks, calling my name. But for the first time in 28 years, I don't turn back. 30 minutes later, my apartment feels hollow, too quiet after the storm. I drop my bag on the couch and sink to the floor. Dot around me, photo albums and dusty boxes sprawl in a semicircle. The carpet bites against my skin as I flip open the first album. Christmas, 2018. Harper clutching a brand new MacBook. Cody grinning beside his first car. Me, holding up a scarf with a Target tag dangling $19.99. My smile in the photo looks real. Back then, I thought it was all they could afford. But as I turn the pages, the truth unravels. Yellowstone. Sorry, Rain. Someone has to water the plants. Disney World. Your internship is that week, remember? Napa Valley. You wouldn't enjoy it anyway, honey. A sick rhythm emerges in every memory. Their trips, their joy. My absence. My phone buzzes. A text from Mom. We need to talk about this misunderstanding. I stare at the word, anger boiling, misunderstanding, as if exclusion spanning decades could be twisted into a mistake. I silence my phone, pull my laptop closer, and open my budget spreadsheet. Each highlighted line stabs deeper. $350, March help with groceries. $1,400, April dad's insulin. $800, June hospital bills. $2,800, August mom's car repairs. And the final one, my Lake Tahoe fund, every sacrifice I made, every skipped meal, every late night freelance project gone. Money they took while already clutching cruise tickets with everyone's name, but mine. My stomach knots. Bile rising. And then the old memories flood in, sharper now. Age 7. Harper practicing piano with her private coach while I begged for lessons. Not this year, Rain. We can't afford 2 kids and music. But 6 months later, Cody had a shiny guitar and weekly lessons, age 13. I cried at the kitchen table and they told me the 8th grade science trip was too expensive. Dad patted my shoulder, murmuring, maybe next time. Kiddo. 3 weeks later, they packed the car for a father-son camping trip. Twice the cost. By the time the clock ticks past midnight, I'm surrounded by proof. Proof of 28 years of lies, favoritism, and betrayal. And as I close the last album, a single thought burns in me like fire. This wasn't neglect. It was deliberate. And they think I'll keep playing the dutiful daughter, forever footing the bills, forever forgotten. Not anymore. This time, the silence won't save them. College years. 3 jobs, no sleep. Scraping together rent while my siblings got their apartments paid for and their insurance covered. You're just so independent. Honey, Mom would say, her tone syrup sweet. We know you can handle it. Handle it. The words sting even now. My phone rings again. Harper. Against my better judgment, I answer, Rain, this is getting out of hand. She sighs. You're making Mom cry. I found the cruise documents, Harper. Her pause is short, too short. And when she speaks again, her voice is flat, practiced. It's not what you think. We meant to invite you. But Mom said you'd understand. You always do. Those last 3 words echo like a curse. You always do. Not anymore, I whisper and hang up. I walk to my closet, reach up to the top shelf, and pull down a small box I've kept hidden for years. Inside, a shrink-wrapped jewelry-making kit. The exact one I begged for on my 9th birthday. Too expensive, Mom had said back then. Only to buy Harper her 3rd American Girl doll the next week. I bought this kit myself last year on Etsy, $35. I never opened it. I kept it sealed as proof of something I never had words for until now. My phone buzzes again. Cody, this is BS. Rain, we've always included you. Another one. You're being dramatic. A third. Fine. How much do you want to let this go? I flip the phone face down. A knock at the door breaks the silence. Through the peephole, Melissa's face appears, my best friend, armed with a bottle of wine and 2 takeout bags. When I open the door, she smirks. I figured you might need backup. You look like hell. I force a laugh. Found out my family's been excluding me from everything my whole life. No big deal. Melissa sets the food down, then pulls me into a hug so fierce it cracks something inside me. About damn time you figured it out. I blink at her. What? She pulls back, eyes sharp. Rain, I've been watching this for years. Last Christmas, you spent a month's salary on gifts, and they handed you socks. They call you when they need money, babysitting, therapy. But tell me, when was the last time they showed up for you? The question lodges in my chest like glass. I have no answer. My phone lights up again. A voicemail from Dad. Your mother's devastated. You're being ungrateful after everything we've done for you. I laugh, hollow and bitter. After everything they've done for me? The words taste poisonous. Later that week, James from work sets a coffee on my desk. You've been distracted. You okay? I tell him everything. He listens, nodding slowly. My parents played favorites too, he says quietly. It screws with your head. Makes you think you're the problem. His words echo in me long after. That afternoon, I sit across from Dr. Warren, my therapist of 6 months, recounting the cruise, the money, the decades of exclusion. Asterisk, she folds her hands. What I'm hearing, Rain, is that this isn't new. It's a pattern, and it's not normal family behavior. I always thought I was overreacting. My voice sounds small, fragile. You weren't. Now you get to decide how you respond. Her certainty steadies me. Back home, I sit surrounded by the evidence, the photo albums, the receipts, the memories sharpened into weapons. I text Melissa, I'm done being convenient. For the first time in 28 years, the words feel like the truth. 4 days later, my phone buzzes for the 14th time that day. Uncle Jerry, a man I hear from maybe twice a year. The voicemail plays, his tone rehearsed. Rainy girl, your mother's worried sick. You need to call her. I hit delete. This time, the guilt doesn't come. Only fire. Family disagreements happen. That's what Uncle Jerry says in his voicemail. But you can't just disappear. Call her back, sweetheart. I sip my coffee and add his number to the block list. Another soldier down. Mom has recruited the cavalry. Yesterday, it was Aunt Patricia. Before that, Cousin Megan. Each one carrying the same tired script. Forgive and forget. Family comes first. You're overreacting. The words have lost their sting. Now they only make me tired. The doorbell rings. Through the peephole, I see him, Dad, shifting from foot to foot, a crumpled paper bag clutched in his hands. For a long moment, my hand hovers over the deadbolt. We haven't had a real conversation in years. Just weather updates and blood sugar levels. And now suddenly, he wants to talk. I step back. Let the silence stretch. 20 minutes later, his car pulls away. When I open the door, a bag sits on the mat. My favorite childhood cookies. A card inside. We need to talk. I miss you, but the handwriting is Mom's dot at work the next day, and email starts circulating. Harper's name in the front line. So worried about Rain. She's been acting strange lately, ignoring calls, refusing to see family. If any of you hear from her, please let us know she's safe. We're concerned about her mental health. I forward it straight to Dr. Warren with the subject line. Exhibit C. Her reply comes an hour later. This is called flying monkeys, classic family preservation tactic. They discredit you so you won't break free. Thursday. Tara from reception texts me. Cody's here, waiting. I slip out the back with my laptop, but he's leaning against my car in the parking lot, arms crossed. Jaw tight. You can't avoid me forever, he says, his tone drenched in the same self-righteousness he wore as a kid, blaming me for things he'd done. I'm not avoiding you, I answer evenly. I'm refusing to see you. There's a difference. My keys dig between my fingers, not out of fear, but out of habit. Cody's fury has always been loud but harmless. You're tearing this family apart. His voice rises. Mom barely sleeps. Dad keeps checking his phone. The kids ask where Aunt Rain is every day. A laugh bursts from me, sharp and bitter. I'm tearing the family apart. I didn't book a cruise and leave my sister off the list. That was different, he snaps. You thought what? I step closer, my voice like ice. That I wouldn't find out? That I'd keep handing you money while you all sipped cocktails on vacations I paid for but wasn't invited to? His face falters, shame flickering before he smothers it with defiance. It wasn't like that. We've been planning the cruise for 8 months. Mom thought 8 months? The words land like a knife. I canceled my Lake Tahoe trip exactly 8 months ago. 8 months, I repeat. Steady though my chest trembles. You asked me to give up my vacation, told me the family was broke, needed my savings. While you planned this trip behind my back, the parking lot tilts slightly around me. But in the chaos, clarity hits like lightning. I was never a daughter. Never a sister. I was the backup plan. The safety net. The ATM. That's not fair, Cody mutters. No, I agree, stepping around him to unlock my car. It wasn't. That evening, I call my cell provider. Request a new number. Effective immediately? The representative asks gently, Are you experiencing harassment? I smile grimly into the empty room. You could say that. Family, I tell the phone rep simply. There's a pause. Then say no more. Your new number will be active within the hour. Click. Done. The next morning, I walk into the bank. The joint account opened since college. A lifeline they've siphoned from for years shows 17 withdrawals in the past 12 months. Not one of them mine. I close it without hesitation. Transfer every remaining cent into my own account. Order a new card. It feels like slicing the last thread of a rope that's been strangling me. When Harper's anniversary party invitation arrives, I don't hesitate. On the RSVP card I write, unavailable. Drop it back in the mailbox the same day. The 4th of July picnic invite gets the same response. I even create an email filter. Every family message receives an automatic reply. Thank you for your message. I am currently unavailable. With every boundary, my lungs open wider. The air tastes sharper, cleaner. That night, my laptop glows with possibility. I enter my credit card information and hit confirm. 1 round-trip ticket to Barcelona. Departure, 1 month. I've dreamed of seeing Gaudi's work my whole life. Now, finally, the dream is mine. When the confirmation page flashes, I smile an honest smile, deep and real. The first in months. From under my bed, I drag out a box. Childhood photos, report cards shoved into drawers. Ribbons from events my parents never attended. I don't burn it. Don't destroy it. I slide it onto the highest shelf of my closet, out of sight, out of reach. No longer a wound I see every day. The next afternoon, at the downtown jewelry store, I try on the silver pendant I've admired for years, but always denied myself. The weight of it against my collarbone feels solid, powerful. I'll wear it now, I tell the associate. Later, in Dr. Warren's office, she nods toward it. That isn't revenge, she says gently. That's reclamation. You're reclaiming what's always been yours. And she's right. The first test comes sooner than I expect of an unfamiliar number. I almost ignore it, but curiosity wins. Rain? Harper's voice frantic. Thank God, your number was disconnected. I had to call everyone. The babysitter canceled. I'm still on the cruise. Can you take the kids tomorrow? Please, it's an emergency. I don't hesitate. I'm unavailable. What? Rain, please. It's just, I'm unavailable. I repeat, and hang up. The next day, another number. Cody this time, his voice tight, panicked. My car broke down. The shop wants $800. Can you transfer it? I'll pay you back next month. I'm unavailable. Click. 3 days later, the final call comes as I'm booking a food tour in Barcelona. Rain? Mom's voice wavers between fury and desperation. The mortgage is due tomorrow. Your father's medical bills. We're short. We just need a little help, like you've always done. On my laptop, La Sagrada Familia fills the screen, magnificent, still under construction after more than a century. Incomplete yet breathtaking, I keep my eyes on the cathedral as I speak. I'm unavailable. The silence stretches, brittle as glass. For a moment, I think she's hung up. Then, in a small, broken voice I've never heard from her, she whispers, "What are we supposed to do without you?" The truth at last. Not spoken in love, but in fear, because without me, their safety net is gone. And for the first time in 28 years, I feel whole. They need me far more than I need them. Figure it out, I say, pressing the red button. The call dies, and I stare at the screen where gaudy ceiling stretches like a stone forest reaching toward heaven. I count the days until my flight. I count the days until my feet touch those halls, alone but not lonely, carrying only what I choose. For the first time in my life, the weight of obligation slides from my shoulders. I stand straight. I stand tall. A week after the cruise ends, my phone won't stop buzzing. 23 messages since breakfast. Cody again. We need to talk about what happened. Dad's blood pressure is through the roof because of this. Can you at least tell us you're alive? I set the phone face down, calm. My pulse doesn't spike anymore when their names appear. Even the smallest victories feel monumental. Across the office, James glances over. Family still blowing up your phone? Like clockwork, I say, turning back to my design project. They just finished a luxury cruise they paid for with money they manipulated out of me. Now they're shocked I won't respond. James lets out a low whistle. And they thought you'd just forget. They expected me to forgive. Like I always do, but not this time. That evening, Melissa arrives with wine, tossing herself onto my couch. Harper called me today, she says, handing me a glass. Apparently, she's spending a fortune on childcare since you vanished. I sip, surprised at the absence of guilt. How terrible, I say dryly, to pay for something the rest of us have to pay for. Melissa grins, but her tone sobers. She also said your mom's planning some kind of family emergency. To lure you back? My laugh comes too loud, startling us both. Of course she is. Emergency is her love language. The next morning, another unfamiliar number. Against better judgment, I answer, Rain? Aunt Deb's voice wavers. Thank goodness. Your mother said you might be having a breakdown. She asked me to check on you. The manipulation is almost comical. I'm fine. Aunt Deb. Better than I've been in years, actually. A pause. Confusion creeps into her voice. Then, why won't you return anyone's calls? I think of Dad's voicemail, how he dragged out the old story about teaching me to ride a bike. The one where he shoved me down the steep driveway and walked away when I crashed, calling it independence. Meanwhile, Harper learned with his hand steady on her seat the whole time. Tell them I'm unavailable, I say simply, and hang up. 4 days later, Harper again. The kids are devastated without Aunt Wayne. Max cried himself to sleep asking for you. Max, my nephew who sees me 3 times a year, who called me Rain Lady last Christmas because he couldn't remember my name. Then Cody. His messages shift from pleading to Venom. Mom and Dad might be walking on eggshells around you, but I'm not. Some sister you turned out to be. My car payments due Monday. Uncle Pete's annual barbecue rolls around, the one gathering I haven't missed in 15 years. This year, my regrets go out with a single line. Unavailable. The next day, my cousin Jamie calls. It was the strangest thing, he says, voice tinged with disbelief, and for the first time, I don't feel the need to know what I missed, because I'm not missing anything. They are. Jamie's whisper still echoed in my mind. The whole place went silent. Aunt Catherine said she'd never exclude her own kids. Everyone agreed. Your mom left early with a migraine. The image makes me smile as I glance around my apartment. Coral walls glow warm under lamplight, bold and unapologetic where beige once dulled the space. Abstract art I chose, not inherited, not approved, hangs proudly where family portraits used to guilt me. On my desk, my framed promotion letter gleams, proof of the nights I finally had free once I stopped running to every family emergency. My banking app pings. Another automatic savings deposit, steady, growing, untouched by their hands. Spain waits for me, the confirmation email like a promise kept to the version of me I almost abandoned. Then the doorbell through the peephole. Mom, umbrella dripping, mascara streaked. My finger hovers over the lock, habit clawing at me like floodwater rising. Still I open, but block the doorway. Rain. Her voice cracks. Thank God. We've been so worried. I say nothing. We're going to lose the house. Her sobs spill fast, messy. Second mortgage. Your father's medical bills. Please, one last time. Help us. Her hand reaches for mine, expectant, practiced. But something tectonic has shifted inside me. The fault lines are realigned. If it were me, I ask softly, jobless, broke, desperate, would you take me in? Her mouth opens, closes, opens again. No words. Only silence, the most honest answer she's ever given me. I nod once and close the door. 2 days later, Bellini's. The hostess leads me to the back. My pulse hammers when I see them. Mom, Dad, Harper, Cody, all waiting in my booth. The booth beneath the stained glass where we once toasted my college graduation, the only celebration ever about me, right on time. Mom says with a brittle smile that fractures at the edges. Melissa squeezes my elbow, sliding in beside me. A silent vow, I won't face this alone. The manila folder in my hand feels heavier than lead. Dad clears his throat. His voice stiff, businesslike. We appreciate you meeting us, Rain. You could have come alone, Harper mutters, her eyes flicking to Melissa like she's an intruder. Cody leans forward, elbows sharp against the wood. We need to put this misunderstanding behind us. The family isn't the same without you. They launch into their routine. A symphony of rehearsed guilt. Dad reminds me of the braces I got at 12. The used car they bought me at graduation. Harper speaks of family unity. Cody mutters about loyalty. Mom's eyes glisten as if tears alone are currency, but the folder in my lap is heavier than all their words. And this time, I'm ready to open it. Mom dabs at imaginary tears. her voice quivering as she rattles off sacrifices made in the name of family. Harper and Cody trade lines like a well-rehearsed play. Guilt, loyalty, unity, their words tangling in the air like smoke that refuses to clear. I wait. I let them finish. My fingers trace the sharp edge of the folder in my lap, steady as stone. When their performance falters, I lean forward. May I speak now? The question lands like a blade. 4 sets of eyes blink, startled. I've never asked permission before. I flip the folder open and slide a sheet across the table. Numbers, columns, black ink cutting through white. This is a record of every dollar I've contributed to this family over the last 10 years. $37,842. I tap the final figure. That includes the $2,800 I handed you for Dad's medical bills. The very same week you wired money for your Alaska cruise. Mom's hand flies to her throat. I'm not finished. For the first time in my life, I cut her off. The air shifts. Even the restaurant seems to lean in, quieter now. Waiting. I lay down the next page. A timeline scrawled in neat handwriting. Dates stretching back 15 years. Every vacation. Every holiday. Every family gathering. My finger glides over yellow highlights that eat half the page. These marks. Those are the ones I wasn't invited to. Or the ones you canceled. Claiming money was too tight. I reach into the folder one last time and place a small photograph in the center. And this. The jewelry kit I begged for when I was 9. $35. Too expensive, you said. I bought it for myself last year. Still sealed. My voice doesn't rise, doesn't crack. But it carries, heavier than their speeches, cutting sharper than their guilt. Even the waiter hovering nearby dares not interrupt. Mom stares at the evidence, her painted face draining of color. Dad tugs at his collar. Harper studies her own hands. Only Cody holds my gaze, his jaw tightening like a man who's run out of excuses. So what? Dad explodes, slamming his palm against the table. Silverware rattles, glasses tremble. We've done everything for you, and you've never once appreciated it. Heads turn from nearby tables. Melissa shifts beside me, tense. But I remain still, calm, unmoved. That it should be easy, I say softly. To name 3 things you've done for me that you didn't do for Harper or Cody. Just 3. The silence that follows is suffocating. In the distance, I hear the kitchen calling orders, plates clattering. Dad opens his mouth, closes it. Mom's carefully constructed mask fractures. Mascara smudges as a tear, real this time, slips free. Harper looks between them, startled by the truth revealed in their silence. Cody slumps back, his fight extinguished. I gather my documents, sliding them back into the folder with deliberate care. My voice is quiet, but it cuts through the heavy silence like glass breaking. I don't hate you. Any of you. But I can't keep pretending this is normal. If there's ever going to be a real relationship, things have to change. From the folder, I pull one final sheet of paper. I place it in the center of the table like a verdict. These are my terms: family therapy. 6 sessions minimum before I set foot at another gathering. And financial independence. No more loans, no more handouts. For anyone, I lean back, my heartbeat steady now, a calm I've never felt at this table. For the first time, the silence belongs to me, a public acknowledgement, a real apology, and time. I need space to heal. Mom's hand hovers toward mine, then falters when I don't reach back. Dad bristles, but even his protest sounds hollow. You can't just dictate terms to your family. I'm not dictating, I say, rising from the booth with the folder tucked under my arm. Melissa moves with me, steady as ever. I'm protecting myself. I pause, meeting their stunned silence one last time. Think about it. My number hasn't changed. Then I walk away, lighter than I felt in years. Behind me, I hear Mom's muffled sobs, Dad's awkward muttering, Harper's voice calling my name, but no footsteps following. Outside, Portland's night sky greets me. Melissa squeezes my shoulder. You okay? I inhale, surprised that my chest feels steady. Yeah, for the first time in a long time, I think I actually am. The stars shine brighter, as if they too are startled by my freedom. Barcelona waits, and this time I chose myself. Months later, the smell of roasted turkey and cinnamon fills my house. My house, bought with the promotion money I once funneled into family emergencies. The dining table glows under fall-colored napkins and a cornucopia. Centerpiece, the doorbell chimes. Melissa stands there with a casserole, Tom balancing wine. Happy Thanksgiving, she says, wrapping me in a hug that feels like sunlight out soon. My table brims with laughter. James from work and his partner, Mrs. Winters from next door, Dr. Warren, Eleanor, outside the office, and friends from my support group. Conversation flows with ease. No raised voices. No guilt. Just belonging. Before we eat, I lift my glass. I want to thank you all for showing me what family can really be. My gaze catches on the sealed jewelry kit displayed on my bookshelf. Once a symbol of what I was denied, now a reminder of how far I've come. Later, Eleanor helps me load the dishwasher. She passes me a plate, her tone casual yet knowing. 42 sessions, she says. That's how many we've had. I nod. The nightmares stopped, and I haven't checked my parents' bank account in 8 months. That compulsion had clung to me longer than I'd admit. Eleanor smiles. Your mother mentioned you in session Tuesday. I blink. She's in therapy. Started 4 months after Johnny's. Harper comes sometimes too. She's realizing she's repeating the cycle with her kids. Your father still refuses. And Cody, well, entitlement doesn't let go easily. The doorbell rings, cutting through the warmth of the kitchen. James reappears, holding a thick envelope. Mail carrier just dropped this off. Said it needed your signature. I wipe my hands on a dish towel, pulse quickening as I take the envelope. Its weight is unfamiliar, but the moment feels all too familiar. The family. Finding one last way to reach me. The cream-colored envelope is addressed in my mother's looping handwriting. Inside, an invitation. 40th anniversary celebration next month. For once, the note isn't typed, rehearsed, or cold. Just a few uneven lines in blue ink. We would love to have you join us, but understand if you prefer not to. Please let us know what works for you. We miss you. Mom, no guilt. No demands. Just space. Progress. Eleanor murmurs beside me. 3 years ago, I would have dropped everything to attend. Last year, I would have burned the envelope without opening it. Tonight, I set it gently on the counter. I'll decide when I'm ready, because now, Tuesday evenings belong to the youth center, where I help young adults untangle family patterns that look too much like mine. Last week, a quiet 19-year-old named Ashley brought in a toy her parents had promised but never gave. Buy it for yourself, I told her. Then choose, keep it sealed as a reminder, or open it as reclamation. This morning, I finally chose. The jewelry kit I kept sealed for years now lies open on my coffee table, beads scattered like bright fragments of freedom. I strung a necklace from turquoise stones. Not perfect, but mine, entirely mine. Later that evening, as the last of my guests hug me goodbye and leave with containers of leftovers, I stand at my living room window. The house is warm, the walls painted in colors I chose, the necklace cool and steady against my collarbone. Outside, the sunset stretches across the sky in streaks of fire and coral, the colors of promise, of tomorrow. For the first time in 29 years, I'm not looking back. I'm looking forward,